Good morning, everybody. It's the 10th of June. We're Signal Centre and we're talking ball. I'm Joe Neighbour. I'm joined by Steve O'Hare and Ian Coleman. Morning, guys.
Morning all.
Everybody okay?
Yeah, you?
It's
Yeah,
raining.
not bad. Yeah, it's very
Raining cats and
grey
dogs.
outside. Never a good start to the day when that's the case, is it?
No, I feel quite cosy inside, looking out.
Looking fresh on. Have you had a haircut, Steve?
I did. I had it actually Sunday. Was it Sunday? Yeah, no, it's yesterday. No, Monday I had it. Monday.
Okay.
But,
Sorry, I
anyway,
didn't
we'll let it
make
go.
it
I'm sure all the thousands of viewers notice it. They're all shouting about it.
Oh, of course, yeah. I'm desperate for a haircut. And I've got
Don't
a
worry, I
hairdresser
can
at home.
send you my clippers over if you want.
Yeah, well, I'm in the salon now, so I could just reach the clippers from here and just do it live.
Sponsored. There you go. We'll sponsor you to do that, Joe.
Okay, cool. I look like Steve.
I don't know. I think you got to put a few pounds on for that, mate.
In my pocket.
Well, I don't know about that either.
Okay, so bit of a volatile session yesterday. Looking for sort of reasons as to why. I think it's just really a bit of a pause for breath. I know in the UK, talking about the FTSE 100, there was British American Tobacco and HSBC, which are pretty big deals on the FTSE 100. They had a dragging effect. There was worries for BAT because there was prolonged lockdowns in South Africa, Mexico, Bangladesh and Vietnam, which are big markets for them. And HSBC, their leading shareholders took a bit of they said they were uneasy over the company's decision to back new security laws in Hong Kong. So that's why the UK market took a bit of a battering, and I guess that's filtered across to other European markets as well. On the FX side of things, it was particularly choppy as well. Is there anything that particularly stood out for either of you two yesterday?
No, I suppose there's some speculation that the Federal Reserve could take steps to curb a recent rise in bond yields at its policy meeting. So, yeah, I mean, it seemed like we were sort of onto a sort of like continue the risk off, and then it sort of like stalled, didn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if yesterday's move to the downside was anything to do with this, but EU Trade Chief Phil Hogan saying that Washington has stepped back from trade talks, and it wasn't going to get anything done until after the November elections.
Okay.
Maybe. But I don't know.
Well,
and then Trump's having a go at elderly protesters.
Oh, brilliant. I think we've all noticed it with regards to equity indices in particular, that there seems to be some potential topping formations taking place.
Yeah.
I saw that on your analysis this morning, Steve, on the FTSE 100.
Yeah, just sort of like noticed it from yesterday's price action a bit sideways. So you've obviously got the potential. Obviously, this is early doors, so don't. If you like that sort of risk, it's obviously just there. So
selling into the right shoulder.
Yeah, selling into the right shoulder, which would be around there. You can also draw a fib from there to there. And then that'll give you some sort of Gartley. I'm sure you'll be able to get some sort of harmonic pattern out of that. 50% retracement is 64.12. I'm selling in just in front of that 64.00. I think there's a few pivot levels around there as well. So yeah, a little bit of a squeeze higher during this hour, but looking to sell into the strength. Volumes, obviously, you can see the volumes clearly are moving down from here. So you tend to get less volume into the right shoulder, and then the volume picks up when it breaks through the neckline. If it does, best way to trade this formation is to sell the break of 63.10.
And then a retest.
Yes, and when it goes through there, so you'll get a movement. How can I draw a zigzag movement?
You can draw based on the paintbrush.
Oh, yeah.
Just click on that.
The mighty CAC looks like a Gartley.
So when it goes through there, oh no, that didn't work.
Just draw a freehand with the brush. That's it. Click the brush.
So I did that.
And then that's it. Keep your finger on it.
And then like that.
That would be ideal.
That would be the best time to sell is the selling the retest of the neckline, because then you've got sort of like very decent risk reward. The risk is only the right shoulder. The reward is the move from the top to the bottom So the measured move target for that would be around about 6105 or 6100. That would be nice. So you're sort of getting at least a sort of like 2-to-1 risk reward out of that.
Yeah, just looking at the DAX, I've got the screen up now. I mean, I'm looking to buy that on what could be a test of a potential neckline of some sort of head and shoulders top. Maybe it's obviously speculative to call it at this stage, but still looking to buy dips because the underlying trend is so strong. But looking at that candle over the last hour there, sort of had a push up to new highs and rejected that and pushing back down towards the lows of, back below the low of the previous hour. So that doesn't look particularly great. So we are looking to buy at 12,465 on that today. But if that breaks, then we could have formed a potential top pattern and could see a move lower. It's potential for that forming on the S&P as well.
Yeah, and the Dow as well. There's a sort of like,
but not the Nasdaq. That just does its own thing. That's
weird,
that's trading up at highs. So
there's a big 261% fib up there at 101. I think it is. On a daily chart, yeah.
Have you got it on your screen, Ian?
I can put it on my screen.
There you go. He's got his Gartley ready. Look.
That's the CAC, the mighty CAC, the one that everybody looks at in Europe, and it's just hit that 50%. So if it comes down and then bounces back up to there, the reason I like it is because the whole formation, if you look at a Gartley, then your first target level for a whole formation is 127.2% of the formation. So if you go like that, oh no, that's a retracement one. Let's get the extension tool. So you go like that, and go like that, and go like that, and then go back to settings, click on it, double click, 127. It's bang here where we've got our support. So I think it all, sometimes they do play out, sometimes they don't, but sort of 50-80 bounce up to 78.6% and then move lower.
The good thing about them is the risk reward, isn't it? The risk reward's phenomenal
mega,
when they play out.
Because your stops up here and then you're targeting 127.
Yeah.
So if you look at that, it's just about 5-to-1. Yeah. Just under 5-to-1 risk reward. But going back to Nasdaq, where are you, beast? This is a daily chart. I think where have I put it on? 8 hours. Up here. Yeah. Serious evening doji just to come down, and then this looks so strong, doesn't it? But
what about volume on that? Can you get volume on that on the daily?
Not sure.
Not on that. You need to click on end it. That's it.
Have we got volume in here?
Yeah.
You see the volume dropping as you've got bearish divergence there. That's a definite sign that the rally's not based on anything decent, and there's a high risk that could retrace quite quickly.
Yeah.
But
no, it sort of broke out retest. Yeah, no, exactly. One thing I did want to mention this morning is obviously cable's kicked on, isn't it? But there's another fib here, 128.27, and again, just using our sort of bespoke support and resistance levels. When we go back down to, this is euro sterling, the potential for quite a nice sort of medium-term trade here. We've got 88.25 is bespoke support. Then you've got that previous swing high here, which is at 88.14, so 25.14 being support. Then you've got 88.17 being the 61.8% fib. So this sort of area here is quite nice support-wise. But then if you go to this one and you take the A, B, C, D corrective formation, because that's quite impulsive, it's been quite choppy, and then you take it from that 88, 14, 20, 25, 14 level area, it comes right up to the 61.8% fib, and it's virtually bang on.
What about if you take it from the low now? If you take that, just sort of I didn't quite reach the 78.6, right?
Yeah. I think that's quite interesting today. But keeping an eye on cable. You know, if cable gets up to that extended fib here, then keep an eye on euro sterling to the downside. So in other words, sterling weakness, euro sterling strength is what I'm looking at. Obviously not for the trade of the day because it's too far away. Trade of the day, I've struggled like mad to find a decent one.
Yeah, it's challenging conditions. I mean, we talked about these head and shoulders top potentially forming on, or top patterns forming on various risk assets. And if you look at something like gold, looking at maybe, I mean, it's very early again, but some sort of bottoming pattern may be taking shape there. Looking for a bit more of a correction, lower first. So, and you know, similar sort of situation with equities, looking for them to form the right shoulders before then heading in the opposite direction. So
jogging on.
Ultimately, it's just more sideways chop until we do get a break either way. So
What time frame's that, Joe?
That's just an hourly chart
Yeah,
on gold. I mean, overall, I mean, looking at gold is just trapped in this range on the daily. Buying the lower end, selling the upper end, I think.
Yeah, I'm feeling that for silver as well. Silver's just got a small, little bit of a short-term trend. I'm trying to buy the dip on silver, and again, I'd probably try and fade the rally as well.
It's a bit of a snoozy day into the FOMC tonight, you think then?
Yeah,
we've got US CPI at 130.
Okay.
Yeah, no major changes expected from the FOMC decision, although they may leave open the possibility of further stimulus efforts, because that's exactly what it needs when it's at all-time highs.
The element of sarcasm was really cryptic then. I just like Nikkei, and again, it could be based on the skullduggery going on between China and Japan, Hong Kong.
Is that what you clipped last night?
That's oh yeah, I didn't realise that. Sorry, I didn't see that. That's just a lovely.
Our best performing market right there.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Whether it's, I don't know. It seems to sort of like chart quite nicely, but just clip that shooting star, then followed by a bearish engulfing candle. So
possible top pattern there as well.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see the head and shoulders sort of like getting a break of this. Well, I mean, it's quite a decent neckline. Yeah, and then bang, straight to the floor. But yeah, I was a bit disappointed with cable yesterday. I thought I was onto a winner. I sold the 126.90, a break of that 126.90. It was really going for it. The target was 126 and it stalled at 126.17. So okay. A bit disappointing on that.
I thought it was going to form a head and shoulders, actually.
You had that on your gun to the head trade, didn't you, Ian?
Yeah.
Yeah, your sterling I had, didn't I?
Yeah.
How did we do on that?
Well, you and I were looking quite good at one stage, but these things reversed quite sharply. So we had a long on Euro Swiss, which made 0.62R. You had the long on Euro Sterling, which was 0.08R at the close, but it was looking much better than that at one stage. And Ian had a sell on cable, which, as we said, started looking quite good, but then rallied quite sharply. So overall, a little bit of a dip in the P&L, but yeah, fairly flat and choppy, which is kind of what we're seeing in the wider markets.
Yeah.
So have either of you got a winner for us today?
I've got a trade idea. Don't know whether it'll be a win or not. Can't sort of.
Go on, you've got the screen.
Oh dear. Right. Okay. Shall we go for it? Shall we go for the FTSE? Let's go for it. I'm not going to wait for the right shoulder to form. We're going to do it right now. 63.74. I'm going to sell it at, and the target is going to be 61.10. And the stop on that will be 64.05. 8.5 to 1.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, baby. like
Gotta
those
be in that
apples.
to win that.
Definitely.
Ian, what have you got, mate?
I'll go right outside the box. CAD Swiss.
Wow.
CAD Swiss counter trend trade. I can't even say that. The only reason I like it is potentially forming a head and shoulders. So it's been the left shoulder, it's been the head, and then this dip down to then reverse back up, form some sort of Gartley head and shoulders pattern, all of them, and then move to the downside. 70.58 is our support level, and it just clipped that in overnight trade. So I think sort of choppy trading going up to form a right shoulder. It is counter trend, etc., etc., etc. But it's about the only thing I can find, is the honest answer. At current levels, anyway. 70.77, 71.30. I can get a stop under here, can I? 70.50. Give me some nice R. That's rubbish, isn't it? I'm going to have to load that up a bit. 3R.
Yeah.
So 70.77, stop at 70.60, targeting 71.30.
Okay, good luck. I was
In it
going
to win it.
Yeah, I was going to take a look at DAX, but as Steve's gone with a CAC,
So you can join in
a little bit. Well, I'm looking to buy it today, as I said, at 12,465, but there is some distance to go and potentially a trade to do before then. If this is to be a head and shoulders top, super speculative at this stage because there's no evidence that it's completed, but it's maybe worth a shot. It's at 12,692 at the minute. I was going to place a stop loss above that high of that last candle that we saw in the previous hour. So that will be at 12,773. Targeting a move down to my entry, which I'm looking for today, which is at 12,465. So 2.71 R on that one, if it does indeed play out. So yeah, super speculative, but one of the sort of more favoured opportunities, I think. Looking at things right as they stand now. So I'm going to go with that, selling the DAX now.
Lovely.
Okay, so touched upon, obviously news out later. FOMC decision is the big data point to keep an eye out for at 7 p.m. And there'll be obviously questions as to whether or not there'll be another big stimulus boost ready to come. And I imagine that there will be some pretty accommodative chat. Even if they don't sort of offer anything, they'll be saying things like, we're ready to act if we need to, etc., which will further boost risk-taking, I would have thought, in order to try and stimulate the economy. So, anything else to add?
Not really. Shanghai copper jumped to its highest level in nearly 20 weeks, recouping almost all of its losses since the start of COVID pandemic.
Suggesting that construction, etc., is going to continue.
Yeah, I was sort of like, can't understand that really, but that's the way of the world. a lot of the markets, I can't understand what they're doing at these elevated levels, but just have to go with it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not big enough to argue with the market yet. Just read it as well. Also, Vitol veteran Taylor, who transformed the oil trade, dies aged 64. The world's biggest oil trader. Vitol was has died of pneumonia. Not don't know whether it's COVID. Don't know yet. He used to drink with Fidel Castro.
Really?
Yeah, and provide billions of dollars to Kazakhstan. So had a sort of like quite a colourful life.
Yeah, indeed.
Wow.
Okay, so I guess we can wrap it up there. I think it may be a little bit quiet until the FOMC, maybe later today, but who knows? There could be various headlines that come out that change that. So good luck if you're trading, and we will catch you all again tomorrow.
Cheers.
Yeah, have a good
one.
Cheers.
Bye.